Right, since this week we've been looking at what Vikings have been wearing, so we were looking at clothes, I thought perhaps we could look today and make some kind of Viking accessory. So what I thought we could maybe make is a Viking brooch. Okay, so I've made a couple here already, just to show you some examples. Really simple to make, but quite effective, I think, when they're made. These would have been used to keep their clothes together. Okay, so they maybe would have worn a cloak or a shawl of some description, and these brooches would have been used as a way of keeping their clothes together. Maybe they wouldn't have had so much buttons, they definitely wouldn't have had zips, so they would have been used to keep their clothes together. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our own Viking brooch. So as I said, I've made a couple of examples already. I'm going to make one from scratch. So what I've done is I've used a piece of cardboard, just a plain piece of cardboard, cut out. I used the bowl, the shape of a bowl to cut it out, so I've got a perfect circle. And I've drawn a really simple design on my cardboard. Okay, nothing too complicated. We want it to be nice and simple and nice and spaced out, nothing too gripped together because it won't work with the string. Okay, so what I've used is I've just got some straight lines, a little bit of curve there as well, and a little bit of a wavy line in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the glue stick that we use in school, that I think most of you should have one of these. We're going to use the glue stick. Alternatively, you could use any other kind of glue. Any kind of glue is fine, but you need to cover the whole circle with the glue. Okay, the whole thing needs to be covered. Right, so a really good layer of glue on your circle, and what I'm going to do is I am going to carefully use string. Okay, you could use an elastic band cut in half, you could use any kind of string you might have in the house, or thick, really thick thread, or actually you could use wire if you decide, if you've got some wire that you could use, but just be very careful obviously when you're using wire, and when you're cutting wire make sure you've got someone to help you with it. But string is the best thing to use. So if you've got a ball of string, it could be twine that maybe some people use for gardening. Most people have got string of some description in their house, and what I'm doing is I'm just gluing on the string onto the surface, which is already been glued, so it is a wee bit sticky and a wee bit fickery with my fingers, but you get the string glued on as neatly as you can on top of your line. So I've drawn up the template to make it easier, because I like to have something drawn so that I can follow that to stick my string on. So that is what I'm doing. I'm just following the line that I've already drawn and sticking my string down. Okay. Right, so that's my two lines with the curves at the end, and I'm also going to do my wavy lines in the middle, just for an extra piece of detail there. So it's one line, and then my second line. Now my glue is still really nice and sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of kitchen foil, just normal kitchen foil that you're bound to have in your kitchen, used for cooking or whatever. A piece of foil, and I like to do it the shiny side up. You could, if you notice, there's a shiny side and there's a duller side. Okay, I like the shiny side up, but it doesn't matter. If you fancy using the dull side up, that's absolutely fine as well. Okay, I'm going to place it on. So you just place it onto your circle, and what I would like you to do, you press it down all over, but if you take your finger and if you really press into the bits where you've used the string, okay, you'll start to see the shape of the string shining through. Okay, and that'll give you your idea of the pattern. So if you think about, Vikings would have carved out patterns, not only in wood, they would have used metal as well. Obviously they were making their weapons and things with metal. They would have been very talented at carving in all kinds of materials. So they would have carved patterns on their brooches and their kind of accessories, their combs, that kind of thing as well. So not just on weapons. So that's me giving it a really good smooth down. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to cut really roughly, leaving a bit of a edge on my circle. Okay, so I'm not cutting it close up to the edge of the cardboard that I've got. I'm leaving quite a big border. Okay, so here's my border around the edge, so you can see it's quite a big border that I've left. And then I'm going to put a layer of glue right around the edge of the cardboard. I'm not going to glue the foil because it might tear. Okay, I don't want it tearing. It's quite, although it's quite strong, when you go to try and glue it and things, it could tear quite easily. So we don't really want it tearing. And I'm just pressing the foil around where I've glued it. I'm pushing it down onto the glue, pressing it down on the back so that the whole foil is overlapped. Okay, so now I've got that as the back and that is the front. And what I'm going to do is, now that it's secure on the back, I can really go to town and press it really well along the string at the front so that I can see the pattern beginning to emerge really well. Okay, so that looks great. I've got my pattern here. What I have done with one of my brooches that I made already, I actually took a bit of crayon, an oil pastel crayon that I had in the house, and I used that to kind of go over the string, so that really makes it stand out even more. Just quite a dark coloured crayon. But obviously not everybody has oil pastels in their house. You could try it with a different kind of crayon, a wax crayon if you have, just go over the string. But just be very careful not to tear your foil, because it would be disappointing to tear it. So you really just use a blunt edge of a crayon if you're going to try the crayon. But actually it looks really good the way it is. I mean, you don't need to do that. Okay, what I'm going to do next to finish it off, now you don't have to do this, but I quite like the idea of doing this just to finish it off. I'm going to take a second circle of cardboard, okay, exactly the same cardboard, second circle, cut to the same size, and I've glued the side that has got the picture on it, so my cereal box side, I've glued the side with the Cheerios picture on it, and I'm going to glue that onto the back of my brooch, okay, and then just press it down as firmly as you can. Okay, so that gives me a fine back on my brooch. And what I could do, if I wanted to actually make it into a brooch, is you could attach a safety pin. Okay, so I've got a safety pin here. Be careful with these, they can be very, very sharp. And I could attach my safety pin to the back of my brooch. So I'm going to take a little bit of sellotape. This is a brand new tape, so I have to take off the wee tab at the top. A bit of sellotape, and attach the side that does not open, so it's the side that stays flat, onto the back of my brooch. Try and get it right in the middle if possible. Give it a really secure press down, and then you should be able to open and close your safety pin, and you could use that as a brooch to secure your clothing. Okay, perfect. That is what I would like you to do for your art task today. I mean, those materials, you should probably have an empty cereal box or a bit of cardboard that you could use. Not everyone will have safety pins, so I know that you won't all be able to finish it off, but I would like you, if you don't have string, use your imagination, try something else. Maybe a really, really thick piece of grass might work if you can get a dry piece of grass. Hopefully the weather will dry up to let you do that by the time that this task is uploaded for you. Okay, but that is your brooch ready to put on, to keep your cloak together, to keep you nice and warm in the horrible wet Viking weather.